jealousy in the ends. They hate when you become successful, but in the trenches we were all friends. How long we trying to pretend? I know they love to see me do well, but only when it benefits them. Is it about money or is it about girls? Either way, I'm threatening men. See, just text said diligent, yeah, cause the outfit's making sense. I told them it costs to be the boss, and to be this fly is the same expense. And we just went triple platinum, check the digits. Most these brothers is tired and washed up, bro, but they won't admit. How many times have I dumbed it down to make a boy feel like he's on my level? And I ain't talking about kettles, I ain't talking about...
Hey, you know what the vibes is. You know. When we come into the office and get to this work, helping other artists, helping other brands, helping other creatives amplify their story, these are the type of things we have to work through. These are the type of, so really what it is like using the art to solve a problem, okay? We're using the art to solve a problem. And if we just hold that as our main mantra, you can get out of your feelings and get into a bag. Okay? You know what I mean? Casino vibes.
Hey,
Me and the one and only Cannon Outlaw, we just out here having fun. Yeah, and I think like even when we think about, because we were watching a movie kind of like on a character study, really, and this just happened just now. Y'all went, wow, that's dope. IKEA, let's do a deal. The office hours plates, perfect for barbecues and perfect for barbecues. Made funny props, but very practical. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit we like to do over here.
Like, okay, dinner's at 8 p.m. But whenever you see this clock get to here, you know it's time to take a shower, brush your teeth, and get to bed. 9 o'clock. You have 1 hour to eat. Okay?
Yeah. You don't know if it's AM or PM.
Yeah.
It's like eggs and bacon with the eyes.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how you been feeling? What you been getting into, Cannon?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Go to Office Hours ATX on Twitter and Instagram. Office Hours ATX on Twitter, excuse me.
Nah, it's Twitter. Fuck
Instagram.
X. It's Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Elon.
You know what I mean? Type of time.
We should just work backwards by what's most recent. The main common denominator for everybody in life is maintaining traction.
Right.
Through friction. Because that's the science of it. Friction can make you lose track. You get too speedy, or if you get too slow, friction can work against you, and I mean, like if you get too slow, you fall. Like the balance isn't there. Speed, momentum is necessary to keep sustainability and not feeling like you're burnt out. And I feel like
keeping it fun.
You have to keep the momentum like that. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's such an uphill climb. You know what I mean? Like every time you got to restart momentum. So that's why, you know, even the idea behind Office Hours is kind of a joke because we never really do it on a very specific time.
Right.
We do it all the time. It's not no like I took a holiday. It's like we're designing in restaurants with family. We're like, you know what I mean, capturing moments and thinking about how we're going to use that for inspiration on a bigger art project. This never stops. So yeah, but the problem, what was the problem? So Office Hours is unpacking its brand story comparatively to like what most brands would. It's just because of the EXP, the work that we put in prior to this, made creating Office Hours actually not take this long. But really, like, this is not more than a month of work, being honest. You know what I mean? And this is like part-time. To be very honest. But one of the things we've been dealing with is like a way to show sponsors how they connect to the artist lifestyle that we portray and show on screen. The community that we represent, right? Me and Cannon are just avatars for all of us, for all of y'all that are like literally like always designing, always creating something. We're avatars for y'all. That's it. So we understand our character, and the character that we have to play is actually, ironically, who we actually fucking are and have been for the last 10 plus years. Anyway, we're y'all avatar. We're just gonna put it like that. When you start your sim game, you can pick Cannon and Starboy and figure out what kind of projects you want to tackle based on the skill sets that we have. Anyway, you know what I mean? Just like choose your character. Because if we want, we could do this shit and apply it throughout a whole thread. Think about it like this. If we want to apply the character of Mercedes-Benz branding to our branding, what are they doing in their branding that we can grab a piece of and use in ours? Take a snapshot from them and put our picture in the motherfucker. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. It's no different than an artist taking a song that is already known and then rapping on top of that beat. And
yeah, that's me. Okay.
Speaking of that, I was scrolling yesterday, and I don't know if this is legal or how this is legal, or if it's because we respect them that much, and the labels all agreed to let it happen because they probably was smart enough to use songs that were on labels that he knew he could get swing with. But the Lil Wayne No Ceilings mixtape, which is probably arguably top 5 greatest mixtapes of all time. And if you go to a Wayne discography, honestly, I think it's probably top 2 to top 3 bodies of work. One of my favorite things, because it made me, that was the first time that Wayne epidemic happened, where it made you hate the actual original song because of Wayne shit. So when people blended them together, it's actually fire. But I say that because it's on Apple Music. You can go listen to it right now. It's a trip, because I'm just thinking there's no way he convinced all of them to give him the right to each instrumental, right? And then it's respect this way, and it's prime Wayne.
You got all that shit?
Prime.
I got your money up, and now I got my feet up. Tune in this bitch, tell my niggas throw them bees up. Doing what the fuck I want, hate me all the fuck you want. Real niggas fuck with me, and I don't give a fuck who don't. Lock the CEO up, and I'm the CEO. Fuck prison in February, and I ain't in no rush. Drink till I throw up, nigga roll more blunts. Ball so hard, man, I gotta go pour lunch. Hit 'em with the shotgun, call that shit spot buddy. Call me Dr. Cotton, aka Young Wild nigga, aka No Trial nigga, aka Click Like Wow nigga. Fucking with the kid and you'll be missing like a wow nigga, yeah. Swagger stupid, pack a Uzi, 100 clips nigga, that's a movie. Aim at your toupee, you sweet as Kool-Aid.
when you think about fire mixtape, I think about Trapaholics. And I think about like this Lil B run. Because Lil B, the bass guy, had a run. Why did he have a run before anybody else? Because that bass shit kind of just like, I do the fuck I want, it's my style. You know what I mean? Just hit and record on moments of his life and turn new shit to the mixtape. And I found a lot of inspiration from that. Because that idea of like, it don't have to be perfect. It just has to be me. It just has to be authentic.
It would make you laugh in a way that got you out of the element.
Exactly.
You were anticipating to receive it a certain way. Maybe you were in a certain light.
I think you got to drop on this one. Then we got to rush.
I'm on my grind, I'm on my shit. 20 stacks for a show, that's a fucking lick. 20 carats on my wrist, that's a fucking lick. Play around with me, extra clips. Semi-autos, extra kicks. Ice on my hand, 50 G's. Suck my dick, bitch, Mr. Clean. Sunroof back, but the doors open. 30 on my dick, cause I'm Bob rich hoe, I'm a rich hoe. Rich hoe, I'm a rich hoe. Rich hoe, I'm a rich hoe. Rich hoe.
The last one. Then we getting back to the shit. We charging up. Sometimes we just gotta catch the vibe and go up. That's how you charge yourself up as an artist. Stay woke.
100,000, 100 trillion, oh goddamn praise God. I drop my car, then I drop my roof. Look like white time suits. That's just how I do. Then I drop my car, then I fuck your bitch. This that white time suit.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I know.
He gaming, he living his life different right now.
It's still dropping mixtapes.
Yeah.
Like, who's more prolific? When we talk about prolific, like I'm scrolling right now. Scrolling. This all Lil B. This all Lil B. Stop playing with that man.
Other companies that would other words maybe never be put beside each other actually.
100%.
Man,
And that's the key point. That's the key point right there. The companies that would never be put side by side. That's the unique value proposition that one, we offer them. And because we're just letting our community, everyone, you like, all right, working backwards, we're jumping to like the second act right now. How this shit started, we had the ideas. We had hella brand ideas that we like, yo, who fits the lifestyle? We get these people up for sponsorships because then we can bring them an audience and then also we can pay for art supplies. It's basic as that. Boom.
Welcome to Office Hours.
And then you do it daily, you do something where you have to practice that daily. That's what I feel like painting. That's why I actually even tried to do painting so much.
Welcome to Office Hours, ho!
Everybody got to start somewhere. You know what I mean?
Speaking of start somewhere.
This is us moving that chess piece. The first one. Let's go. Game on.
So
You know what I mean?
The problem.
Right. We're talking about sponsors. How do they connect to the art lifestyle? Then we started playing the music, went down that one. Thank you for getting us back on track.
Make prototypes all day, so our claim to fame is to do shirts, also just prototypes at the drop. So when I'm thinking like if you want to get it in person, we're just upcycling
Exactly.
a Champions branded T-shirt.
So it started like this.
What's
too.
the difference between a Champion branded T-shirt and every other brand on there? If Champion is also
One of the brands.
It's one of the ones we covered.
Right.
You know, since we cover all of these,
Right.
It's
works.
kind of this mentality like if you're out with the whole flock of people doing something that's erratic and may not be could be judged as a not within the law, if you want to say it like that, and you're a force, it's pretty high chances that you'll be able to follow through and then get through your evening because people can't arrest all of you. That's maybe not the right message, but at the end of the day, all these brands right here that would be the biggest, greatest bombshell in life. Bugging about
Right
this
in
shit.
front of the casino.
Okay, you come by the house.
Problem, we need to get them. How do we get them? Boom. We work backwards. We had some references, starting with the modular moto vibe when we was going into that. And then we was thinking, we saw some shirts. We always like these
Custom.
racing shirts. Like, so like, we're like, yo, it's Texas is hot. We don't really want to wear long sleeves, but racing shirts are like cool and breathable. And any of the racing shirts we see, they got hella brands on them. And I was like, ooh, that shit's hard. And then another idea like that was like those old school, like, M&M's jackets that had like the NASCAR racing jackets. They might have like a number on the back and the hella patches.
The yellow crescents.
Yeah, type of time. Yeah. So, so we was thinking about that. Dope. All right, so we're gonna do our version of that. Boom. Now we have our reference. We jumped through it really quick, but that's kind of what the process is, right? We have the problem is, how do we get to these people? Cool. We think that we're gonna get to these people by solving a problem with art. How will we show them our value? Our value is that we're connecting them to an audience that likes them and would buy from them, but probably is not associated with them already. So that's what we're doing. We're bridging that connection between this audience. So we're using art to do that. How do we do that? We find a reference. All art, no matter what, at some point starts with a reference. The smartest artists start with the reference. The artist that's out here just making art for money and getting right to that bag, directors,
a memory,
videographers, sync producers, they start references.
A memory is a reference.
A memory is definitely a reference, which also gets back. He's dropping so many gems on your ass right now.
But wait,
so many gems on your ass talking about memories. Okay, Office Hours Magazine 1. This is a prototype, an MVP. So let's stay focused.
No. It's funny too because with making the prototype too, there was no rhyme or reason to the placement of any of them, and then afterwards, they were just lined up and organized a little bit more, right?
Right.
Once they were brought in, but then I thought about the fact that Celsius is on a polar end. We'll get into it.
Right.
Celsius is on a polar end, and then Yerba Mate is on that polar end too. They would never interact with each other.
For sure.
But then that ended up happening kind of a lot. I noticed when I looked at it. But that was just the order of events and the way that they play roles is that Luna's dead center. So how do these all circulate around our past 3 weeks? Past 4 weeks?
So we will stop now and let's say we get a random from this Action Bronson place. We got to do an ad. Yes, I think we're already kind of hinted at it. I can see something shouting out that is one. So if you kind of make an ad. They got everything. They had a song. And they got Mama ran away from home. So even if we sell that, follow her all. Ooh, 2 minutes. That's how long this song was. 2 minutes. We came up with the ad script for how we gonna do this. Peep the style. And
集チェックオールグリーン
Now we're in the segment of the show where we have where we create a scripted ad on Office Hours about a product that we love, and it starts now.
Ever worked a back to back? How about an open to close?
Whoa,
You know, a clopen? We all know about those.
the clothing.
And you don't get any time to express yourself or unwind or ease your mind.
Be so stressed. Whew.
Cylinder strings. Imagine. Why don't you come on down to the shop? Then I'll throw in a couple band-aids with the cylinder strings.
Seriously?
Of course, you can't have you bleeding all over the place.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm playing classical music.
Class. You need class. What is my class? Well, come on down. Austin, Texas. Right off of Old Torf. If you're familiar, open up Google Maps. Luna Music.
And cut.
This is really spitball. We could even do alternatives. You know what I mean? Like, what do we want to do? We could do like other ads.
Alright, I'll do one about Chelsea.
He's not trying to blow your cover.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
He's not trying to blow your cover. It ain't nothing like that. Like, oh man. He was like, oh no, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And so as that conversation dies down, Prince then comes in front of us, walks through the crowd.
After his performance.
No, while he's performing.
While he performing.
Plays the bass, aims the bass at Mike's face.
You go
And they're like, niggas like, and Mike's like, doing this shit, right? This dude like flicks his hair and walks off. And then Mike's like, okay. So then 5 minutes later,
different time, bro.
5 minutes later, he's like, I gotta go. Meet me at my house for breakfast.
Awesome. This is ad number dos. We don't have much time, so we're just gonna have fun and just go through the list. Fuck it. I'll edit it up later. It's still gonna be dope. We're having fun. Ooh, that went fast. Okay, cool. Yeah, how's it been going, dog?
I mean, honestly, my mood is fine. Everything's good. I'm just a little bent around the edges and exhausted.
Yeah.
The last latter half of my day where I need a little bit more energy.
Yeah, I thought you were hangry.
No, but I ate before I came over here.
Oh gosh, I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
So you need to pick me up?
What does that mean?
So sometimes if I'm feeling down, I'll grab a can of Celsius.
Is it vitamin?
Who cares? This one's called Peach Vibe, and it tastes like a dream. Oh, dang! The Peach Vibe, Celsius.
I think I'm having one of those.
Oh, clink, clink, baby. Cheers.
Cheers.
From our office to yours, we drink Celsius so we don't crash when we leave and rage on everyone in traffic. We drink Celsius so we keep a calm mood and keep our energy up, baby. You know the type of time. Office hours. We drink it, so should you. Yeah. Bang, bang. Drink Celsius. Stop playing with your life.
Hey, type of time, office hours in this. Oh, what you mean? Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Get that crust out your eyes. It's way in the morning. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, hey, Lamani. Dallas, Texas. Hey, San Antonio.
myself straight through the window. The lead actor in my life story, Delroy Lindo. Hands got me spinning like a hula hoop. Couple noodles loose from the chicken noodle soup. Hanging out the portion with the cake on. I'm the type of style you wanna put your cake on. What you doing? Man, I'm laying by the lake, drinking napalm, ready to turn the motherfucker steak on. Calling thousand roses in the Draco. Stupid. As I fly from the Alfa Romeo, like I was skydiving, talking about how I'm out my.
High off life, dog.
Oh,
Straight up. I start getting the itis.
yeah.
You ever been so high off life, you get the itis, and man, I'm just so grateful. I don't feel like doing shit, but you should be doing shit.
Right.
That's when I went down to the 7-Eleven and grabbed me a Celsius. They got this new one called Peach Vibe.
Are we still in the South? Oh,
This
yeah.
shit tastes like
No, it
damn
was delicious,
Miami
honestly.
spring break.
It was delicious.
This shit tastes like Calle Ocho.
Right. Wait, Cali, you take it.
I don't know, but I said Calle Ocho in Miami.
I could have
street.
sworn I heard Cali Uchis. That's my. I'm sorry.
I mean, it kind of tastes like how her music sounds. Honestly.
Sweet like candy.
You know what I mean?
No,
Actually, it's real whimsical.
I will say the other carbonated ones that exist in the world are baffling to me that they haven't figured out this balance with Celsius.
Idiots.
It's insane. I mean, it's incredible. Have they patented that formula to the point where no one can imitate it? Because I feel like someone else should be able to duplicate it to how efficient and delicious every sip. It's never too starchy, never too syrupy sugar. It's delicious.
And this is coming from a Clyde who stays at 9 a.m., baby.
Yeah.
It's go time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
For you.
I'm sorry.
So, next, what do we got to do? We was talking about, we're going to back up and walk through the process of, okay. Now we're coming back into the scene where we're talking about you. Okay, this is how it went. First, we talked about the different brands that we thought made the list, that fit the lifestyle, that we thought people would not associate with artists, but we have to remind them. You know what I mean? So we made that list. And from that list, Canon went and found all of the logos and threw them in the blender. And then what?
Fix some of the formatting on the screen ratio, which was basically the upright shit. Could have made it wider to fit what was in the t-shirt.
Right.
That's version 2. We're gonna have to put that in version 2. There's so many other. That's also the thing. It was there would be more. There's even more of our brands that we didn't put in there, and a couple other ones that we've used that I didn't put in there because the space would have been actually, I thought, too much. But what I realized is that on the t-shirt app that we use to be able to just format where it's placed and how the data transfers, it had more width on the ends on both ways, so that actually obviously just allows us for more space, more.
So, but in Blender, like, what was that process like? How did you tackle that process of finding the logos and organizing?
Some of them I found that were transparent; they were easy to find. Some of them I had to find something in black and white, convert them into SVG so that all of that actually showed up in full color. And then once I got them, I didn't change the size on really any of them. They all came in that size, which is funny too. Like some of them, I think maybe I scaled down like the circular ones to put them on the end,
right,
to make it fit. And then on the other 2 diagonal ends, I tried to keep them boxed with just words. So those 2 out of frame,
right,
another thing. Everything else was just staying in those lines, making sure that they were maxed out on those lines on each end too, going down, and then in between. Just like filling in the gaps. They really think you want to put that in there.
So he pretty much what he's saying is he used his own intuition, his own guidance about where things should be placed. It just came to him.
And in Blender, to make stuff show up transparent, really, really, really crispy, and have all of the color that you expect the logo to have. Once you've made the world fully bright and lit throughout evenly, when you go and make film transparent so that it comes out transparently, so you can overlay on stuff. Make every single logo that comes in the specular on 0. Make the word specular on 0 because that makes everything have the honest color that the logo, the brand wants to be displayed with.
I have no idea what specular means, but when I walked in and he showed me on the projector here, if y'all, I don't know if we had that on live stream, but showed me on the projector, I was like, nah, that's perfect, and I already seen it because we've been sending each other references of like of kind of like racing tees that we liked over the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, honestly.
Yeah.
This is the longest ideas like we passed around. It's funny enough because I think we really wanted to just honestly, once we really sat down and just made the list, everything else flowed pretty quickly because we've been talking about it. We had the reference in our mind. I was trying to pull up a few of the references. Anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of, oh yeah, this is one right here.
Yep. And that.
I don't know where we be getting stuff from, so like that it's not even a gatekeep. I just like we just always collecting shit.
That's that same thing. Like placement is wherever they want it within that perfect little box too. You don't even actually have to.
So now the idea, why are we printing stuff? Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's spin it back. Alright. Why are we trying to print logos on a shirt? What the fuck does it matter? As a creative director, those are the questions that we gotta ask and have an answer for before we're doing any art. So that's the other thing that went into this. Why is this cool? Why? Because we're gonna show it in the racing tees. The intention was to show it on the bike, so we can zoom out from whoever we're proposing the proposal to. We could zoom out from their logo. Cannon's on the bike. I film it. He revs the engine up, a lot of smoke as it zooms out. You see all the logos associated, and then he rides off on the bike. That same story is modular because now we can use it within office hours to show the different logos that we use on a daily as we're actually creating. So it's an art lifestyle piece that's actually a bootleg that should not exist. And when people see it, it's going to draw so much attention to this community. So for the local brands, for sure, that's kind of like the idea.
Yeah, and another thing too is
that's epic right there. That's great.
That's great.
That's so great. I didn't even see that.
So the aspect for
shout out to Joe from Dada Lab.
Shout out Joe, Dada Labs. If you're in Austin, Texas, again, Google Maps, Dada Labs. Check out those venues and see what events they have going on.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, don't miss out. Don't miss out.
It's
Stay tuned. I mean, we really outside too. That's really the type of time we on. So when we say that, we really outside. But
that's a rather unfamiliar world too. Whenever
100%.
Whenever even for locals and people that are actually here within Austin, it probably scarce to you. Probably really buy it actually.
Nah, 100%, 100%. It's low key, but anyway.
Step out of your way, go inside.
Yeah, that's what we on. That's what we on. We gonna tell you only about the shit that we really do. We never gonna like tell you or suggest or recommend some shit that we ain't put our hands on, that we ain't that. This is not for sale. Baby.
Nah, that's very inspiring.
This is not for sale.
Coming from inspired people that seek that all the time.
Yeah. So even that idea goes back to our brand ethos. Like the lifestyle is really not for sale. Like we just do this. We're just highlighting things we already rock with.
Right.
So yes, we would be inclined to take, to continue to include certain brands. That's why it would be advantageous for them to pay. You know what I mean? Because we would keep including them. It's like literally they have clones for the art. It's like in us office hours, Cannon and Starboy, they have clones for artists that are walking around promoting them. That's something they can't pay for.
I also think it's the audacity kind of mentality.
It's definitely the audacity.
Even put them all beside each other, it's just an audacity.
Because that's a hook point. That's the hook point. That's another part of branding.
Maybe I don't really all the way agree with whatever specific is from certain things, and maybe like, but I mean, it's not. It just looks actually really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it right now, and then right now for you, just look at it. Just look at it.
Right.
Everything's just minimized or maximized. I don't even know. It almost came out like this represents how consistent or effectively how constant we use certain things. Like I use Sharpie every day, all day pretty much, and that's pretty large connected to the Epson printer which you use. The Celsius is about the same size because it's every day.
Right.
And me notebook almost on a regular basis every day.
All right, let's pull it up and take a look at it. Let's pull it up and take a look at it really quick. And cut.
Welcome to Office Hours.
So we're back. This is the MVP. Okay, this is the demo version 2. Why? The first version, technically, if we hold it up against a green screen and say we put it right here in a box, the first one prototype would technically be the first Blender image with the clear background. Just that image, boom, that's the prototype. Taking it from there, that lets us know what it would look like on a shirt, right? So that step has to happen. And those other 3 steps happened before we got to that first prototype. So we made it pretty fluid, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows questions were answered every time at each one of those steps. Because that's the difference about like not just creating to create, it's creating from the landscape of creative direction, like creating from the landscape of like architecture. It's like the function. Why are we making this? Let's get to that.
Which one do you use most frequently?
The one I use most frequently, probably is Canva right now. Canva and Gmail. Or Canva and Apple.
Gmail should have been bigger, and Apple should have been bigger.
I think they're perfect spaces.
Yeah, they are
I love
if you want to think about the consistency of how frequently you use them, that would have been a tip.
Yeah.
Which that could be other versions too, is that and there's other designs like almost honeycomb or beehive style. You can set it up in that shape of beehive and honeycomb, all the exact same size and fit in a certain
So what about you? Pick your top 3 and why?
Well, I think in the past few weeks, this is honestly makes sense why that would be the largest.
Because you see where we at.
Yeah, but
The one and only.
I think I desire it to be this one more frequently and more
The crank?
regularly.
Yeah.
But what it has.
Yeah, shout out to
I was
Celsius.
gonna say the I can't lie. This
My
is amazing.
can's actually empty. It's real life.
This software does help you decompress a lot.
Blender?
Yes, I'll
Yeah.
say about that for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we in here right now literally using the Sharpie markers. So that's the idea of like showing how everyone's connected. So if we can create something that's provocative enough, even if it's kind of bootleg, in this idea of like, it's like, you can't buy it. It's illegal actually. But it makes a statement so strong about what we stand for.
You don't sound
And
like
that statement about what we stand for is a story that transfers to the community so they can understand that we represent those artists.
You don't sell it, you wear it, and if someone accidentally steals it and somehow leaves some money behind, it's okay. You just break even. That's
So,
it.
yeah. You know what type of time it is? We showed you the reference. We getting back into some vibes. One time. Shuffle mode. It's a lifestyle. Shuffle mode. You never know what's gonna play, baby. Shout out to that Action Bronson playlist. We in the bodega right now. Transfer the green street to the bodega. It's Cannon Outlaw Starboy going through the aisle. I went honey turkey on a hero. You know the vibes.
I don't know. That's the
Hey.
I don't know that.
Hey, I need some Perrier, baby. You know the vibes. You know what I mean? Throwing 2 shots in the damn week. Come, you know the vibes. You know the block, baby. It's summertime. You know what I mean? Shout out to the 12 o'clock boys.
The equivalent is putting white liquor in a $5 kangaroo cup.
It's like, let's have fun.
Same shit.
It's like, let's have fun. Shake it, baby. Shake it, baby. So where we at now? Oh, yeah, that's it. You think about what you want to do. Act 3. We're just gonna say that. You're not gonna see that. We just know it's Act 3. So, universal laws for the journey. You know what I mean? What's come up for you recently? The one and only Canon Outlaw. Perspectives right now.
What?
Universal laws for the journey. So like, think about it like.
No. Yeah, I get it. Like.
Yeah, but for them.
Yeah.
So like, universal laws for the journey is just like, what's something that applies no matter who you are, no matter what medium, that it's like a trait, a characteristic you have to have. It's a universal law. It works like gravity. No matter what art medium you in, this applies. And the sooner we get all of those laws and respect all of those laws, the faster, the further we go, the more sustained we go, the more at peace we are in our journey. You dig?
Yeah.
So that's what we want.
Nah, I think the only thing that rings to me, what I've been obsessed over lately, is that what goes around comes around only comes around if you go around. So you have to actually,
Hold on.
You have to really.
Wait, say it again.
What goes around comes around is something we say all the time, but that I feel like that can happen in any spectrum.
Right.
It can be in the most negative way, or positive way. That's why you say it. Like,
right.
It's like a karmatic. It's like a karmatic nuisance reminder. Like
right.
That's like some cliche shit that a family member would say or whatever. You don't really. It's cliche itself.
Right.
But in that effect, I feel like what we were talking about yesterday. You can't see them. Maybe some B-roll clips. But we were just chopping it up yesterday. A couple of unique individuals and some OGs actually, and they genuinely were just dancing around this idea of motion, like what we got on the concept of like what makes motion or what makes traction is motion, and
right,
going about in like just the creative way. And then also we talk about this kind of decently, like when you stir something up, it makes a churn, like even when you advance forward. Actually, we're talking with Soup about it too. So it's like when you
shout out to Soup makes it better. K like the letter.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
But I think that motion you have to what Uzi say? Samir say, if you change your location, you can change your life, and it's just because that motion really, really matters, and like that causal effect.
Right.
And there's so many things to see. So you're broadening your inner map. Whenever you go out to the outer map physically, your inner map expands.
So you would say one of your universal laws for the journey is motion. Motion. Big
maintaining
motion.
Maintaining emotion.
Big
That's
motion.
The power we have is emotion.
Energy and motion. 100%.
E-period motion.
Yeah, energy and emotion.
Every day. Like.
Nah, that's absolutely, and that's honestly like the joke about office hours, because it's like our energy and motion tells us to show up every day for ourselves, show up every day for the things that we love, show up every day for the value that we can give to the world, show up every day grateful about our gifts and really wanting to use them for the better, to improve other humans' lives. So that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Our energy and motion tells us to show up every day. You know what I mean? And I would say one of mine is, because I was even thinking about when we chopped it up with Soup, and he was saying one of his problems was like wearing multiple hats. And we talked about this, like I really understand and dig what he's saying with that, because it's like at a certain point you try to learn as much as you can to not have any excuses, right? So like you try to learn as much as you can to overcompensate for maybe someone not taking you seriously, or maybe overcompensate because you don't have enough dough to go and just pay for the resources, so you have to learn the thing to save the dough so you can, you know what I mean? So we start wearing multiple hats and we get good at multiple things. And I feel like one of the things I caught, recently that really was like a catapult thing for me was like, yo, it definitely takes a team. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? So focus on what really lights you up and really sustains you the most. Those other things will come in as they come in. It's just like breathing, but double down on one thing for sure.
Right.
Because then you can assemble your team based on their actual strengths. The same thing. They're focusing on their one thing, you're focusing on your one thing, and then you attract those tribes. That's how, you know what I mean, you get a vibe, you get an energy, you get a vortex that was created when me and Cannon linked up. So, so I was like,
It's been years in the making.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we got that. That's kind of one of the first things, I guess.
And actually before that, he was one of the first people I welcomed into my apartment when I first moved out
Yeah, we
here.
shot a podcast. We did.
And we shot and that was years. That's
yeah,
been
we
years.
shot a podcast. That's
and
true.
That was before. I think that would probably be more of an imaginary, less conceptual time of life. Like I mean, just how we were choosing to advance towards making art
Right.
a priority at that time. But we did have those conversations. But I
of like life throws us these funny moments that try to distract us from what we're trying to focus on,
Right.
but we just play into it as
Right.
like like a mosh pit, like a pop-up party every time at this part, you know what I mean? So that's like the crew, you know what I mean? Like you put just people pull up at that time and just go off. We create a stage, a funny thing.
Yeah.
And I think even for this pilot, we'll find some funny shit on YouTube and put
like
in that spot.
that could be a